What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are you doing out here today on this beautiful Wednesday evening? Well, we're here to talk some Arizona Cardinals. Just because the season is over does not mean we stop talking about the team that we love, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome all the Facebook streamers. Welcome all the Twitter streamers. And of course, welcome to the diehards, the YouTube streamers. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you a lot. You guys can do me one huge favor, smack that like button. It helps out the channel grow out tremendously. If you're looking for somewhere to talk to, a therapy session, which we probably are not going to need for quite some time, maybe until the draft or free agency. But this is the community you want to join. Smack that like button and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Means the world to me. Appreciate everybody for coming through. And let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I do think that the Arizona Cardinals right now, obviously, the season's over, right? A lot of us were heated. A lot of us were heated here on Monday night. And that also bled into Tuesday. My Tuesday was not very great, if I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you guys. It wasn't very great at all. Now, for me personally, it just kind of came to the realization of, okay, well, we got football coming. We still got football. We got the divisional round, and then we got the conference championships, and then of course, Pro Bowl, which really nobody likes and nobody watches. I mean, I guess I'm talking about just myself, anyways, because I don't really like watching Pro Bowl. And you also have the Super Bowl right after that, and then the offseason completely continues. Now, for me specifically, I was hoping after that embarrassing loss that we ended up enduring on Monday Night Football, I was hoping that we were going to at least hear something from the Arizona Cardinals. Now, one thing that we did hear so far is press conferences from a lot of players, such as DJ Humphries, Justin Pugh, Zach Ertz, etc. And we also heard from Cliff Kingsbury. Now, if you haven't heard anything about his post-game conference, you haven't missed anything. I almost promised you it's the same thing you've been hearing every single time, so don't waste your time if you haven't watched it already. Now, the Arizona Cardinals have a lot to think about this offseason. Now, I ended up posting a community post. If you guys have not voted yet on my community post, completely, highly encourage you to do so, because I want to find out what you guys are standing with Cliff Kingsbury as of right now. Now, take my opinion out of it. I want to hear from you guys. If you want to keep him, cool. If you want to fire him, go ahead and vote it out on the community tab on YouTube. Now, I also do have another voting session here at the top of this chat. It's basically asking if you were to pick one specific free agency that we have to, choose out of 4 of the people that I posted here. Let me know who you would choose, and then I will go ahead and, hear the results here pretty soon, probably within the next 10 minutes. So if you haven't voted, please do that right now. It should be on the top of the chat. Just go ahead and, get your vote in. But I think the biggest thing here to talk about in terms of Arizona Cardinal fans is being that we have a lot more questions. We have a lot more questions going into this off season rather than we do have answers. And I know I posted a video yesterday saying that things need to change. I still wholeheartedly feel that way in terms of things that need to change. Now, I know deep down, I know how this organization works. I know how a lot of the fan base works. And I do think that although I would love a change, I somehow don't think it's going to happen. But we still have time. If you don't know this already, there is going to be some change in my personal opinion. Now, if you guys didn't know, or if you guys don't like Vance Joseph is set to have his interview with the Miami Dolphins this coming Friday for a head coaching position. Now, if he's going to get it, who knows? I know there's a lot of people that would welcome and love the idea of him getting the opportunity of a head coach. Obviously for his career and getting back up there, being a head coach for the second time of his career. But a lot of people would love him to get the opportunity as well, because we want to find another defensive coordinator. Now, who's to blame here? I think when you look at this Arizona Cardinal roster and team organization just in general, it's hard to really pinpoint one specific person to completely blame on what we saw, this complete, utter embarrassment of the end of the season. Now, we're a playoff team. Yes, we are. We're a playoff team. Did it feel like we're a playoff team? No, it honestly felt like we were supposed to be the 7th seed and we shouldn't have been in the playoffs. That's honestly what this Monday Night Football kind of gave to me as a fan. Have we experienced it? Yeah, we did. It wasn't as fulfilling as you guys might have think though. So The Arizona Cardinals, a lot of questions to be answered. A lot of questions to be answered here. Now, one thing that I want to go ahead and talk about, we'll talk about free agency. We're going to open up the phone lines a little later on as well. So definitely stick through this live stream. The phone lines will be opened up. But I want to kind of get your guys' gauge and what you guys feel about Cliff Kingsbury. Now, if it was up to me, Steve Keim would have been fired 2 years ago. The relationship between him and Michael Bidwill is absolutely sucky. Their friendship, their buddiness, because honestly, when it comes down to the grand scheme of things, I feel like Michael Bidwill's eyes is a little skewed because I don't think he wants to get rid of Cliff Kingsbury, although he has butchered a lot of our drafts. And that's not even to mention this last draft. Now, hear this well, ladies and gentlemen. I know when a lot of people come to this stream and they're like, Mike is such a hater. The AZ sports fan, all he does is talk smack on this team. He should go find another team. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if we were a consistent organization, if we were hit more than 6 times going into the playoffs in the last 30 years, then I think I would have a little bit more optimism. I think I would have a little bit more, what's the word? Not so much positivity, but confidence. I would have a little bit more confidence going into this 2022 season. But so far, with what I've seen from Cliff Kingsbury, I already know this is not going to be the guy that gives us the Super Bowl. Now, I went ahead, like I recently said, I went ahead and got a survey or a poll out already. And I asked you guys this question. How do you really feel about Cliff Kingsbury? Now, I wanted you guys to take the biasness of my opinion completely out of it. I want to know from you guys as a specific, fan. And obviously, I ended up posting this 2 hours ago. So if you weren't able to cast your vote, I highly encourage you to go to my community page and cast your vote. Because if you wanted to stay, definitely do that right now. So this is the question here. How do you really feel about Cliff? 2 hours ago, I already got 430 votes. I appreciate everyone for doing that. We have 58% of you saying fire him. We have 42% of you guys saying keep him at least for one more year. Now, I understand the thought of, keeping him for one more year because it makes sense. He has one more year in his contract. One thing that really, really scares me, and we've seen it before when it comes down to people trying to play for a contract extension or trying to retain their job and, coach for their contract extension. We've seen it before. My fear is that if we do give Cliff Kingsbury another chance, he's going to put his best effort out on the field, which honestly, that would only benefit the Arizona Cardinals. I understand that. I hear you. But are we not going to get another downfall for the consistency of the Cliff Kingsbury's era? Almost kind of like Jordan Phillips got us to pay him this big, handsome payday because he had a very good year with the Buffalo Bills. And when we ended up signing him, just a bad signing in general. That's one thing that really scares me. Now, there's other players that we can, allude to and talk about. I know the coaching, it's completely different, but it's kind of the same concept. You're going in for a raise. Put yourself in a position of, the real life, a job. You're going in for a raise. You start doing everything you possibly can to make yourself be that, exceed expectations to get that big, handsome check. And you do everything you possibly can within the next 2 months because your raise is coming up. And then after you get your raise, your performance goes down. So I ended up getting some screenshots from that poll. Now, if this is your response, your comment that you ended up putting on there, shout yourself out if you'd like on the chat. But I got some very funny ones, and I want to go ahead and share it with you guys here as well. So this is one of the comments that I ended up screenshotting in it. He said, and now this is the response to how do you really feel about Cliff Kingsbury? One of our subscribers here says, I think he should be fired, but I feel like they're going to keep him for next year at least. And I can definitely see where you're coming from. Definitely see where you're coming from. We got a next comment here saying, fire him, bring in Brian Flores as a head coach, and get Pep Hamilton as a offensive coordinator. I like what he's done with Davis Mills and Justin Herbert. I feel like he can do wonders with Kyler Murray, and that would be a formula for a deadly team. Appreciate the comment. And now we have this comment says the QB is the issue, not the coach. Now, this right here, obviously, with all the terribleness of what happened in 2021, the Arizona Cardinals put us in a position, and I'm talking about as fans. We are split down the middle, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of fans saying fire Cliff Kingsbury. We have a lot of fans coming to the aid of Cliff Kingsbury and saying, well, look what he did. He got us from a 5-win team to an 8-win team and then to 11-win team. It's really sucky to be in this position as fan bases that we're fighting with each other right now when we should really start blaming this organization because of the situation that we put ourselves in. Now, Cliff Kingsbury, the fault is not all on him, and I completely 100% realize that. I know that lack of depth was a big focal point as to why, we didn't have a lot of, cornerbacks to kind of come in to help out our injured cornerbacks. But this was a call for concern that we've been talking about all last season, that we needed to get a cornerback in the draft. Now, we put all our eggs in one basket with Malcolm Butler, and we ended up paying for it this last season, towards the end, of course, once the injuries happened. Breon Borders, terrible. Kevin Peterson, I respect him. I like him, but he's not a 53-man roster type of guy. The person who put us in this position is none other than our general manager, Steve Keim, that for some reason has a job with the Arizona Cardinals, and I don't understand why. Now, we are going to have a draft party. We'll be talking about draft once the Super Bowl's over. We'll be talking about free agency, but it all stems from the ignorance and the bravado, the arrogance of what what Steve Keim is doing to this team. We got back-to-back quarterbacks. Josh Rosen didn't work. Okay, no problem. Kyler Murray's the real deal. I still feel like he has potential if we give him with a capable coach. But then we go back to back-to-back linebackers. You know how different our team would look like, ladies and gentlemen, if we did what I wanted us to do? In the 2019 draft, I wanted us to go wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. In the next draft, I wanted us to go cornerback. We should have gotten a cornerback. Now, whether CeeDee Lamb could have been switched out with, Tristan Wirfs, hey, that would have been cool too. That would have been awesome too. But because Steve Keim goes on camera and says that he was the best person available, and I'm talking about Isaiah Simmons, I'm talking about, Zaven Collins, and please hear me well, this is no disrespect to those players at all. No disrespect. They are lovely people. They are great human beings. The issue here is that the Arizona Cardinals does not put these players in the best position available. 2 rookies back-to-back did not get a focal point in our defense is absolutely embarrassing. Our team would look different. We wouldn't have to worry about, dang, do we need to bring back Christian Kirk now? Because Christian Kirk is up most likely for free agency. Is there any other team that's going to be sucker enough to pay him? But I almost promise you, ladies and gentlemen, if Christian Kirk goes to another team, somehow he's going to flourish. Just like Hassan Reddick. And I'm not meaning flourish like he's going to be a superstar. No, I'm not talking about DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not talking about, OBJ. And I mean the name. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about maybe Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, that type of player. A player that actually can do very well if we put the players available to succeed. And I think that's one of the biggest part. Obviously, depth. Our drafts have been mediocre, and I've said that on our streams, and what I get as a fan saying, you know nothing, Mike. You are absolutely terrible. Rondale Moore is going to be the next best thing. You just watch. Zaven Collins is going to be the next best thing. You just watch. The best defensive duo linebackers that we have seen. You just watch. I'm watching. Not impressed. And it's nothing to do with these players. It has to do with the coaching staff not putting these players in. So now we're stuck in this situation. All the questions that we have going out of last season and now leaving this season, we still have so many questions, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Green, I don't think he's coming back. We need a number 2 wide receiver. Don't nobody tell me Christian Kirk's a number 2 wide receiver. Please. No. Nobody tell me out there Christian Kirk's a number 2 wide receiver. He's a number 3. If somebody's willing to pay him as a number 2, then cool. But by all means, peace out. We have so many big keys that we need going into the season. A number 2 wide receiver next to DeAndre Hopkins. A right guard. A right tackle that we can keep healthy. A left DJ Humphries is starting to be very questionable to me now. Linebacker. Cornerback. It goes on and on. Now, I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to retain James Conner and Chase Edmonds. I think, obviously, if you were to ask any Cardinal fan, you would pick one over the other. And I think that would be James Conner over Chase Edmonds, because we have Eno Benjamin, we have Jonathan Ward, and I do think that we would be able to kind of use what Chase Edmonds is able to do with Eno Benjamin. We have so many questions now leaving this edge rusher. We need an edge rusher. Chandler Jones ain't coming back. We ain't paying Chandler Jones, ladies and gentlemen. We have so many questions leaving this season now. And that right there is the most frustrating to me as an organization, as a fan that's been watching quite some time. That's my confidence level going into the season. Obviously, when it comes to August and September, I'm going to be as optimistic as I possibly can. But realistically, we're playing the AFC West and we're playing the NFC West as well. Our schedule is going to be very tough. But I also said that coming into this season as well. It's not going to get any easier, ladies and gentlemen. We have so many different pieces, so many positions that it's up in the air right now. Completely up in the air. And I know that, we have some people in the chat right now really, giving some advice. Maybe we should, get Calvin Ridley. Maybe we should go ahead and get Will Fuller. Hey, Will Fuller, this guy has been hurt so many times. I don't trust the guy. Chris Godwin is another intriguing player to me, but I do think he's going to get paid very, very handsomely. And I don't know if we're going to be able to afford paying 2 top wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins and Chris Godwin. I mean, that would be amazing, right? That would be cool. Calvin Ridley, there was rumors out there saying that the Falcons are willing to trade him. Is the Cardinals going to do that? Who knows? But let's be honest, Robert Alford, I don't think he's coming back. AJ Green, I don't think is coming back. Chandler Jones, I don't think he's coming back. We should cut Jordan Phillips. I don't care that he's got 1 more year in his contract. You're gone, buddy. You're done. And now the sad part is now we have fans, and not sad part. The sucky part is now that we have fans questioning Kyler. And I get it. I understand. He had a horrible game. Terrible game. Decision-making was bad, but he was also pressured. Pretty much like Patrick Mahomes versus the Buccaneers game. He couldn't really do anything. Obviously, if you were to ask me who I want gone first, if it either is Cliff Kingsbury or, Steve Keim, I would say Steve Keim over Cliff. I would, but I know realistic deep down in my heart, he's not going to go anywhere because he's buddy-buddy with Michael Bidwell. So many pieces, so many wrong things with this Arizona Cardinal team, and I don't know if we're going to be able to address all of them because we don't already have the depth. Because the way that we built this roster out, we went superstar heavy this last offseason, and it was for a 1 to 2 year window. And we seen what we look like in the playoffs. Didn't look very good. Didn't look very good at all. Now, I know there's a lot of people saying that, hey, let's give Cliff one more year. Give Cliff one more year. But get him an offensive coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, we've tried giving him an offensive coordinator. The talk was out there last year. This is what calmed me down and simmered me down going into this year, leaving last year, because I was on the board of getting rid of Cliff last year. But everybody said, let's get them in an offensive coordinator. And I'm like, woo, okay, I like that. I like that option. Let's give an offensive coordinator. Cliff came out straight up and said, I was brought here to call plays. That's why I was brought here. And that right there completely shut down any dream of having an offensive coordinator. And I'm only assuming he has that same mindset coming into this game or to this year, if he does come back in 2022. So, question for you guys. If I were to ask you right now to put on your GM hat, you're going to put your hat on like you were Steve Keim. And I'm going to give you a list of players that should be gone to free agency or, to bring back. So if you could pick 3 players out of this list, let me know who you would bring back. And obviously put it in the comments and I'll give you guys some shout outs here. Player number 1, Chandler Jones. 2, Zach Ertz. 3, Chase Edmonds. 4, James Conner. 5, Colt McCoy. 6, Robert Alford. 7, AJ Green. If you were to pick 3 players out of that list that I just gave you, who would you bring back? I'm done with Cliff too, and I know there's a lot of people that want to open up the phone lines because they want to put their, their opinion out here. The phone lines will be opening up soon, I promise you. But my question to you guys, if you were to pick 3 of those players to bring back into the 2022 season, who would you bring back? All right, let's get some shout outs here. Let's see what Keenan, what's up, Keenan? He says Ertz, James, and Colt. All right. Rai, Ertz, Connor, and Jones. Okay, Jones, all right. Jordan P says Chandler, Ertz, and Connor. Easy. Alex, where did that go? Connor, Ertz, and Jones. All right. Spartan, what's up, Spartan? Connor, Colt, and Ertz. Jonah, Chandler, Zach, and Connor. We have Oil over here saying that Colt is greater than Kyler. Elon Musk saying Reddick and Connor. He wants to bring Hassan Reddick back. I wouldn't hate that. Scion Rage, Ertz, Connor, and McCoy. Kyler Murray in the house saying Connor, Ertz, and Jones. Eddie, Connor, Ertz, and Kirk. That might have been the first Kirk that I've seen, honestly. That might have been the first Kirk I've seen. Man, it's telling, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very telling to see what's going to happen in this season. It's going to be a huge year. If Cliff Kingsbury does come back, I'll try my best. I'll put my positivity hat on. I'm not happy about it because to me, I've seen all I need to see from Cliff Kingsbury. My biggest thing, and I understand the rationality of bringing him back. I get it. Like, I understand it. My biggest thing is, why struggle towards the last part of the season again? Because let's be honest, this has been a problem for 5 or 6 weeks, right? It's not like it's a 1 or 2 week thing and he couldn't figure it out. This was since October, ladies and gentlemen. We couldn't figure it out. I'm sorry, since November. I apologize. This is since mid-November we couldn't figure it out. And Cliff Kingsbury told us the exact same thing. A, I need to take a look at the tape. B, I don't know what's going on. C, if I knew how to fix it, I would have done it already. What the heck? Why are we losing so much at home? It's a simple question, my friend. Why are we losing so much at home? Why are we going through an epic collapse again? It's absolutely insane to me to bring him back and have him do it to us again. Let's say, for example, he comes back and give us an 8 wins, maybe 9 win season. I would rather get that in another coach. Give the option for Kyler Murray to see if he can go with somebody else. Maybe somebody else can bring the good in Kyler Murray. Not good, the great in Kyler Murray. Because we know Kyler Murray is good. We've seen his athletic ability. We know what he can be. It's just that we're in the situation right now where a lot of us are saying we need to put Kyler Murray under center, whether Kyler Murray doesn't want to be under center or not. There's a lot of tailings to me saying that really shouldn't be Kyler Murray's choice. 100% that shouldn't be Kyler Murray's choice. Now, I get his comfortability. I get we want to put him in a position to succeed. But the way that Kyler Murray's looked in the last 5 or 6 weeks, we need to mix something up. And it wasn't working at all. At all. So to me, I would rather struggle with another head coach getting 6, 8 wins, but some positivity going towards the end of the season, because we've seen it back-to-back seasons where we start off super hot and then we tail off. Cliff Kingsbury is not going to be the guy to give us a Super Bowl. He's not. He is not going to give us a Super Bowl. And if he does, hey, I'll do something. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something if he does win us a Super Bowl. But with this roster and so many questions going into the next season, it's just impossible. We had so much talent on this team. Now, granted, we had a lot of injuries, but so does a lot of other teams. One of the biggest things is lack of depth. It's lack of depth that we don't have, and that's the fault of Steve Keim. But that's also the fault of Cliff Kingsbury, because supposedly in the draft, this is the player that Cliff wanted. Cliff wanted Andy Isabella. Cliff wanted Rondell Moore. Then why aren't we seeing the players produce? And I could put it on the other side of the coin. Vance Joseph might have wanted Isaiah Simmons. Vance Joseph might have wanted Zaven Collins. Then why aren't we seeing them produce? That is the biggest question out there, ladies and gentlemen, that I have. That's my biggest problem. Not so much that we got humiliated in Monday Night Football. It's the fact that there's a lot of big key factors that are going into it. A, the collapse happened yet again, and Cliff Kingsbury could not figure it out. B, the next team or the next season's team going, into 2022 is going to be much different. We might not have Vance Joseph. So regardless of, there's a lot of people saying, oh, bring everybody back, bring Cliff, bring the special teams guy back, bring, defensive coordinator back, Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph might be gone. So there's going to be a change regardless if you want it or not. If you give a guy an opportunity to make head coaching salary, head coaching money, they're going to take it. He might be gone. And that would be okay with me. I kind of want Vic Fangio. I'm not going to lie to you. So what I would love is for Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim to get on their P's and Q's, because this right here, it ain't working. It ain't working, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't working. And it's only going to get worse next year. It's only going to get worse next year. All right, we've made it to the time limit, everybody. Let's get this going. Phone lines will be opened up. I appreciate everybody for rocking with the AZ Sports Fan here. You heard my opinion on this matter, and we are going to be opening up the phone lines. This is going to work like this. I will be posting a link at the top of the chat. If you do wish to come on, all you need to do is click on the link and come on through on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. I highly recommend you turn your camera on, because we're not trying to let trolls come in here right now. And, they always want their 5 seconds of shame. So come on through, turn the camera on, and let me know how you guys are feeling, either about this team, either about Cliff Kingsbury, however you want to, talk about. This is your moment. We're opening up the phone lines right now, and you can come through, and I want to hear from every single one of you guys. So come on through, ladies and gentlemen. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Come on through, and we are going to open up the phone lines here. All right, 1 second here. Let me go ahead and get this banner down here real quick. I know we did things a little different last year where, you had to follow me on Instagram. You don't have to do that anymore, ladies and gentlemen. All you need to do is click on the link, come on through, and we should be able to get this going, ladies and gentlemen. Get this going. All right, let's start off with some people. We got some people in the background already. Let's start off with, I'm going to start off with my guy, Bananas, because I made him wait last time around. So let's start with my guy, Bananas, up in the house. Let me just change my background real quick. Bananas, Epic Gaming, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up? How you feeling?
50-50. Part of me wants Cliff gone, but the other part of me is like, do we really need to pay for 2 head coaches again going into another season?
True.
And if Vance Joseph doesn't get the job, I say get rid of him either way, because somebody has to be held accountable. And give Cliff the ultimatum, be like, you need a offensive coordinator. And Kyler, you need to be under center most plays.
Yeah.
And I just looked it up. Cut DJ Humphries. He's a free agent next season. And he'll be with,
right?
Yeah, 2023 is when his contract expires. He'd be with Zach Allen, who's going to get paid, Byron Murphy, who's going to get paid, Kyler Murray, who's obviously going to get paid, and he'll be with JJ Watt, who might want to sign a 1-year deal again.
So question. So DJ Humphries is good to go in 2022, but you're saying in 2023 he's a free agent, right?
Yeah, it says his contract expires in 2023.
Gotcha.
So I say just get rid of him. Because we saved $18 million if we cut him. And I say get rid of one of the linebackers. Get rid of Hicks or get rid of Kennard. Because they take up $10 million a piece or together.
Yeah, Kennard probably might be the first one to go. Man, Kennard and Phillips. Just a disappointment.
Yeah. Phillips is a bust for me.
Remember when Kennard, I think when we played the Lions, and I think it was Kyler's rookie year, or it might have been his sophomore year, but Kennard was wreaking havoc. So I was actually kind of excited. I was like, man, we got Devon Kennard. That's cool. Hopefully he does the thing, but he didn't do anything with us at all.
Yeah. He got lazy. I hate to say it. He's able to stay in his hometown, able to do whatever he wants, and he just got lazy. And for the people that I think we're going to bring back, I see us bringing Connor back, obviously. I see Edmonds being the odd man out. AJ Green, he's going to retire.
Oh, yeah.
Ertz, I mean, he said he wants to stay. And if Kirk doesn't get any offers, I can see him coming back to a team-friendly deal. Because Andy Isabella was on the trade block like week 7 and 8.
Nobody wanted him.
Nobody wanted him. He wanted a 4th, and nobody would give up a 4th for him.
Every time we even bring up Andy Isabella's name, and it hurts me on the inside. It hurts, man.
We could be like the Lions. The Lions gave up DK Metcalf. They gave up Justin Jefferson. They gave up 4 really good receivers for shitty ones.
It sucks, bro. It sucks. And now we're in the situation as we don't have a number 2. It's just frustration level.
Kirk's a good number 3. He's a good number 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm cool with the friendly deal, but do you think he will? Like, I would say if somebody pays him number 2 money, I think he would go. Heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Does he want to be with his family more? Because his family lives here.
True.
His whole family's here.
True.
So if he wants to be with his family more, if he's a family man, like he says that he is, and his clothing line's here in Phoenix, I can see him taking that team-friendly deal. But if somebody like the Jaguars offer him $50 million for 4 years, he'd be dumb not to take it.
Yeah,
I love Kirk, but he'd be dumb not to take it. And for the draft, I looked where we are. We're 24. If we can trade down, would you be willing to trade down twice?
I think so. Trade
down with the Lions, get their first and get their second, and trade down with the Ravens, get Hollywood Brown and their third. Because Hollywood Brown would be a decent receiver too. Because he played with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. I just when I think about it, like the realism of like us doing that, I don't know. I don't know if Keim's
not that.
Likes to go for those older guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
think
that's
and
the
it
problem.
sucks because most of the DBs will be taken.
Oh yeah.
We need a nose tackle. We need a defensive end. We need a number 2. We need an offensive guard. And the only good ones that will be on the board at 24 is McDuffie from Washington.
Oh, brother.
And he said that he would love to come here to play with Byron Murphy again because they locked down the Washington backfield.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you for coming here, man. Thank you so very much.
Right.
Thanks for a
Anytime,
little
man.
positivity. Have a good day. Later. All right, let's keep it going right now. Let's get my guy Alex up in the house. Alex, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, man? How you feeling?
Not too bad, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, pretty all right. Pretty all right.
So I want to start off by letting you know, Mike, me and you, majority of us here are longtime Cardinal fans. Anyone that speaks ill on you, saying that, well, you're too much of a negative Nancy, bro. No, you're thinking what the rest of us are honestly thinking. A lot of us hardcore Cardinal fans who've been around the block for years, who've been around, the Wizenhunt days, the Arians days, even beyond heading into the Jake Locker days. The Jake Palmer days. But it's just, I don't like these fair weather fans telling us, like, oh, you just trust the process, trust the process. We've seen this stuff play out before.
Yeah.
Don't tell us otherwise.
Yeah.
Now, I gave it some time, thought things over, because a lot of us were all pretty heated after that Monday night travesty. And I'm right there with you. I don't see management doing anything to move Cliff or Keim. I think that's going to be a given. And the way how Cliff's been going on, I came here to make the offensive plays, no one else. I really feel we just need someone who can take care of Kyler and actually take advantage of his abilities.
Yeah.
Instead of him just like playing off on the fly. And as far as the whole free agency goes, I still stand by my decision. Connor is a definite keep. Ertz is a keep. And who did I say? Chandler Jones would be the next one. But yeah, I don't know, dude. It's going to be tough heading into that final season. I just don't trust the Kingsbury era.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying too, man. And remember, we were on the draft party. You were coming through, and after the draft, I was like, maybe I am being a little too negative. Like you know what? And I kind of felt bad. I was like, maybe let's give it to Zaven Collins, but like it proved us right again. And it has nothing to do with the player. We're not disrespecting the player. It's the problem that the Cardinals don't, for some reason, want to use the first round picks.
They don't. Yeah. What's the point of getting that first round draft pick and only utilize them maybe minimal on there? I mean, we could have had the next Micah Parsons with our guy, but we didn't utilize them. And to be fair, I think you mentioned Rondo Moore as like not being not producing enough. I mean, to be fair, he did have some pretty solid games. I mean, that catch that he had against the Rams this past Monday, he did show a lot of talent. So I'd say let's not completely throw him under the bus.
What's his stats for the year so far? I'll look it up right now. You're good. Keep talking.
I'm looking around I looked at the free agency roster for wide receiver. Yeah, nothing's really jumping out. A lot of injury-prone players. I mean, I personally wouldn't mind seeing Allen Robinson joining up with us, but he's probably going to want number one wide receiver money, which sucks. I wouldn't mind seeing him rocking AZ colors, but nothing's really standing out. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Juju Smith-Schuster could possibly join up with us?
That's the thing, man. It's like the drama, and that's the thing. Like I would even take it at this point. Like that's the sad part. I hate the TikTok. I hate the things that he does. Like I hate the immaturity, which what I see. I mean, I know a lot of people don't think it's immaturity. He does what he does. He's young. I don't care. But I don't know. I would take him at this point. Yeah, look, we need people at the wide receiving court. And I've been talking about this since 2019 when I said Kirk isn't a number 2, and I got my head ripped off again saying that. But Rondo Moore stats.
I was on your side now. I'm like, no, Kirk, he's got to go. But yeah, you got ripped apart for that.
Yeah, Rondo Moore stats: 435 yards, 54 receptions, 1 touchdown. So 400 yards. I mean, you can kind of go on the fence of that. I mean, obviously, production, we want more, but
he's a rookie too. He was pretty much, bear in mind that he was also up against Hopkins, Green, Kirk, Williams, our tight end Williams and Ertz. So those numbers are okay for his first year as a rookie.
Yeah. As long as we see him progress, man. Appreciate you as always, man. I'll let you go. Have a great day, dude. Later. All right, let's keep it going here right now, man. Let's see who else we got on the let's bring someone we haven't heard from a very long time. Jonathan Gonzalez. Bro, I haven't seen you in a hot second. What's up, man? You are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, man? How you feeling?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I am good, man.
Still working it, man. Win or lose.
Got it.
Just to
Got it.
stay every fan. Yeah, I haven't been on in a while, man. I've been busy with work and all kinds of other
Sure.
stuff, but obviously, disappointing loss, not what we expected. I've been meaning to come in and talk to you about after every loss that we had back to back, but I think we squeaked into the playoffs, man. I got it hurts to admit, but we did not deserve to be there, dude.
I agree.
We didn't earn it. I kind of had hopes that we would do okay after beating the Cowboys. I was like, oh, that little breath of fresh air, and we got it back. We got it back. We're gonna do okay. We've beat the Rams before. We're playing away, which is beneficial for us because we had an excellent 8-1 record on the road. I mean, so there was a whole bunch of positives, and so I had high hopes, but this game was the first time I had seen Kyler struggle for being small, dude. It's usually he was able to run away, uh, prolong the play, and make something out of nothing. But he just got smoked, and I know it's not all his fault, but I agree with what you're saying, man. I saw Cliff a bunch of times they would go to him. He was just like this, and I'm like,
You're in the
dude.
headline, bro.
Even my pops was watching the games with me. He's like, does he? My dad used to coach soccer in school and for years, and I would always see him on the sidelines be all upset. And I was like, Dad, relax, it's just a game. And when he was watching the game here, he was getting mad at the fact that the coach wasn't getting mad. He's like,
I'm the
does
same
he
way.
even talk to them, or does he? What is he doing? Why is he calling these plays? Blah blah blah. I'm like, finally, I was like, Dad, I can't do anything about it, right? I'm watching the game too,
That's funny.
but yeah, it's crazy how, and then the same neutral monotone response. Oh, we have to look at film. We have to do this. Blah 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 blah. But I agree with what you're saying. Or some people are saying. I honestly don't think they're gonna let him go because whether we want to admit it or not, the team has improved. Whether it's his fault or his thanks to him, but we were three and what in 15 or 3-14 before him, and then we got 5 wins and then 8. Now 11. So on paper, it looks like we're improving. You know, so I'm thinking they're probably gonna write it out. I agree with you with Steve Keim. He has made a bunch of not depth in the depth chart, but I mean we got to give him credit. Dude. He got his Hopkins, he got his JJ. He's got good players in there that have put us in good spots before. He had the guts to get rid of Rosen and get Kyler, which
That
a
I will
lot.
give him.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of GMs wouldn't have done it because like, dude, that's gonna make me look bad. How can I do back-to-back quarterbacks? Blah blah blah. He said, "F it," did it, and went with his gut, and it worked out as best as we can. I do believe we do need an offensive coordinator, somebody to help out, Cliff. I think Cliff could potentially be a good coach if it brings his ego down a little bit and says, "All right, you know what? I need help. I'm still the new guy," and the new guy excuse is gonna, get old quick.
Well,
He's still, oh, it's only my third year. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I mean, at what point do you stop learning, dude?
that's
And
crazy to me though, because
yeah,
third year to me, that's
hmm
not new coach anymore. Like that
exactly.
should have been over in year 2, in my personal opinion.
And it's not him learning players' playbook.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff, so players have to adapt to him. So it's not like he's learning somebody else's system.
Yeah.
He should have his own system down. And the one thing I did notice in a lot of games, anytime I like Kyler, I like. I mean, I'm wearing his jersey right now,
Yeah.
but I think he got babied too much, man. And the fact that I could tell you anytime Kyler would mess up, I would see Cliff next to him, like, "Oh, hey, buddy, it's okay. What'd you see? We'll get him next time. Don't worry about it, champ.
Yeah.
You'll
Pork
be
slices.
good. And yeah, keep going. You're the best. Here's your participation trophy.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. I could tell you,
Yeah.
Bruce Arians would not have babied
Oh
that
no.
guy at all.
Probably
So
slap him in the head.
yeah, like didn't Bruce slap
He did. He got
one of
fined
his
for
yeah,
it.
exactly. So and I think Kyler's gonna benefit from some tough love, not just anybody babying him and giving him whatever he wants when he wants it, how he wants it. I did find it strange that they didn't kind of let him loose, and he wasn't really doing a lot of running plays, scrambling out like he usually does. he was very limited. I do agree he should be under center a bunch of times and, a better mix. But, Connor wasn't even showing in the playoff game. It was just a bunch of different things, man. It was very stressful to see when the first time they got the ball 3-and-out, but then they got the Rams 3-and-out. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe, something's going to happen. And
then the wheels
nope. It's crazy. Then to not give up 2 points, he ended up giving up 7. It's hard to see it, but I honestly don't think they're going to replace him for next year. It's one more year. On paper, their team has improved. Whether we feel that it's because of him or not, it has improved. I've seen a lot of other. I follow, I think it's John Palmer or somebody else on TikTok, Carson Palmer's brother. He works with quarterbacks a lot. And he's talking about a lot of these quarterbacks flourish because the head coach protects them and only gives them like favorable plays and things where they make them succeed. And when they go to other teams, in this case, he mentioned Jared Goff. He was awesome with the 49ers. Oh, no, 49ers? No, Rams, sorry. And he was, did great, went to the Super Bowl, but he couldn't do anything, with Lions. Not necessarily his fault. It's just he wasn't allowed to develop because they always kept them protected. So it's kind of the same thing I feel here. I don't think if they keep babying and protecting Kyler as much as they have, he's never going to get any better. He's going to plateau where he's at. And that kid's got a lot of talent, man. A lot of good arm, good speed. He's very smart. He can play the game. And I think he needs to be given a little bit more free range on what calls to play, what plays to call, and what to do and how to audibles and all this and that. But in hindsight, he needs to be held accountable for the consequences if it doesn't go the way it's supposed to. But I definitely do think that they're not going to get rid of him. We have one more year at least of dealing with this guy. And hopefully he learns his lessons. He's humble enough to admit he needs help and maybe get an offensive coordinator. I honestly don't know why people are hating on Vance Joseph so much. I think he did a great job as far as I could tell with what he had, and I hope we do keep Chandler and JJ both healthy. Look at the first game against the Titans. I guess it was the first game. I get it.
Yeah. But the thing is that I think the sustainability is just the biggest issue we had was we couldn't stop the run, and he couldn't figure it out. And I get it. It's personnel issues. That's all Steve Keim. But you would figure that we would be able to stop it, and that was the worst part. So we couldn't stop the run. And
we couldn't stop the run. But you do have to admit, on the last few games, we did hold a lot of good runners back. I mean, we did stop the run, not when we should have, like in the previous games. They ran it all over us, but we did improve, although it was too little, too late.
Yeah.
But it's I think he did good with what I don't like the fact, like you said, that we drafted back-to-back linebackers and one of them didn't even play, but he started maybe 3 games this season at most. And just sitting there and
what happened with Isaiah too, man? It happened exactly with Isaiah Simmons. So it's like back to back. But I'll let you go here, man. It's just I got a few other people try to come up. Have a great rest of your day. Just to kind of take a few comments offline here real quick. Yeah, Vance Joseph, I think one of the biggest things is he's not able to stop the run. And it was like that the entirety of the year. And then B, sometimes we saw some crazy coverages that had Chandler Jones trying to cover Cooper Kupp, and it was just Gardick trying to cover a speedy wide receiver. It was just really, really weird. I get the packages, the blitzes and stuff like that, and that's kind of the way that it kind of turned out. But it's just, I don't know, it's really weird. Really weird. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Big shout out. First super chat of the night. Appreciate you, Joshua. Thank you so very much. He says, I don't know why you guys keep hating on Cliff. He does great for my team. Oh, you're a Rams guy though, man. Here we go. Got some new decals coming your way, brother. The logo on your shirt. Appreciate you, Joshua. Thank you so very much, man. Appreciate that a lot. I'm not going to give you the shame bell, but I appreciate you for coming through, man. Thank you so very much. All right, let's keep those phone lines going right now. Let's get my guy, Lord Alex Toredo. Lord, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, man? How you feeling?
Hey, man. Greetings from Germany. Okay. Yeah, every Cardinals fan is beat down right now. I think we're all trying to figure out what worked out. The offense didn't really work. And I have a question, always questions for you because you're more on the pulse. You're right there in Phoenix. You know, you have the finger on the pulse. So even if we like give an OC to Cliff Kingsbury, it needs to be one of like his alma mater. I don't know if I spell it right because of like I'm not used to the college system, but it doesn't make sense to take a coach out of another system, like not the air raid, because like I didn't see much of the air raid offense after game 7, 8. You know, because without Hopkins, they pretty much had Green, Kirk, Rondell Moore all covered. So does it make sense to like add another dimension to it to like have an OC who's like run specific? Because when we have Connor, let's say Edmund stays, we have Benjamin, you can go with like a 2 or 3 running back package because Connor is like really from his height and his like body size, he could play tight end too. So does it make sense to make like more the Cardinals more like a run team? Because when we have a run game and a pretty good run game, we take pressure off of Kyler, so he doesn't have to struggle in the pocket so much anymore. And you can do all of the funky stuff with like mixed things, wide receivers coming back and all the flips and keep the defense confused. Because when I look at the Rams games and I watch it 2 or 3 times on the Game Pass, I always see like the Rams just got through our alignment and every sink or every vibe we tried to build up, they disrupted it instantly. I mean, that's their job too, but so your opinion on this, does it make sense to like shift it?
Yeah, I think it would be really hard to get an OC, especially if he's not familiarized with Cliff's scheme, to come in here and practice that. I now thinking about it, I think you're absolutely right. It would be really hard to do that, especially because Cliff is the one that likes to call the plays. I don't know, man, but I feel like we just need a glass of humble pie, and we got it. We absolutely got it. We got dominated. Like it almost seemed like we were the 7th seed going into the playoffs. Like that's how bad we look. We didn't deserve to be there at all. I don't know. Being that I know this Cardinal team, is Cliff going to get an offensive coordinator? I don't think he is. And I just think it's because it's the stubbornness, and I think he wants to stay with this scheme. Would I like him to? Yes. And maybe not for play calling, but to help him out on the field with the other things that goes on, clock management, maybe giving him some advice for, hey, maybe use the timeout here, because there was a moment that we had, 40 seconds left in the Rams game. We could have possibly played for a field goal, maybe put some points, and instead he just ran the time down. He's like, all right, peace, we give up. Here's the white flag. Let's go into the half. We're done. So I do think that there's some more aspects of him to kind of work on, as opposed to just play calls, that he does need help in. And I think the head coaching position is just way too big for him. There's a lot of things that he needs to think about. And somebody needs to sit with Kyler. If he's sulking in the corner, somebody needs to get in his ear when Cliff is looking at the rest of the field. Somebody needs to talk to him. Like, somebody needs to. So that's my opinion.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I want to
appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much. Out from Germany. I love it, man. Thanks a lot, dude. Peace. All right, let's get to these super chats here real quick. I got my guy saying, just got here, but it doesn't make sense. We have all seen what we can be. Why do we fall apart? Good question, man. And then he says, following up, one for sure thing, when Kyler loses his smile, he lost his game. Ooh, that hurts. I mean, kind of right, though. Kind of right there. It all kind of comes to me as lack of adjustments on Cliff Kingsbury's behalf. And I think that's what the main thing that people are frustrated with is you had 6 weeks to figure it out, because we were getting dominated in November and going into December, or at least halfway of November going into December. We just couldn't figure out why we couldn't win at home. It's a lot, man. It's absolutely a lot. Let's keep the phone lines going here. I appreciate everybody for sticking through. Thanks for being. Let's get Ryan. Ryan, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I think we should sign Connor, but I think Connor's a big part of the team. I think also Ertz is. I don't know about Chandler Jones, though. I mean, it's a so-so. He does good for a team. I mean, I feel like J.J. Watt, too. Do we need him? It's one of those guys he's owed.
You said J.J. Watt? I think he's signed a 2-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might come back, but just because he's under contract.
Yeah, I think we should get rid of Christian Kirk. I mean, what's he doing?
Yeah.
If anything, he has to be wide receiver 3, but
I
And
agree, man. What do you feel about Cliff? Like, what is your honest? Get rid of my opinion. Let me know what you honestly feel. If you love him, cool, you love him. Don't think about my opinion. What do you feel about him?
it's a so-so. I'm like, he got us in the playoffs. It's good. But at the same time, he's got to get us better. I mean, we're in the playoffs, but it's a bad thing we lost. He's not coaching well.
Yeah,
He got us in the playoffs. I mean, we weren't in the playoffs way before. So
I
I
agree, man.
mean, I don't know. I feel like we should get a new coach and fire him.
I agree, brother. Have a great rest of your day, dude. I do think one thing is that we do need to make a change. I don't know what it is. If it's not Cliff, I feel like somebody needs to like. I don't know. I feel like that would make me feel better. And I know it's spiteful. I understand it. Like I get coming from me. Like I just want somebody to get fired. But the way we lost, the way that we crashed again. I think if we fired, a ball boy, I think it would be fine. I think we'd be like, oh, cool, we're making changes. We got this. Give Cliff one more year. I'm just kidding. I think there's a lot of people that don't want to give Cliff one more year. And already we have people talking about Deshaun Watson already. That's how crazy about offseason that we're living in right now. But let's keep this going right now. Let's bring on my guy BBH ALV. You are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up? How you feeling?
Honestly, I'm still pretty pissed about the game.
Same too.
I'm not gonna get over that. And I can tell yesterday I watched the roundtable. You seem like you didn't want to be there.
Oh
Like,
no.
I don't blame you. I'm
Yeah.
surprised he's still here. I would have been like, yeah, we got dominated. All right, I'm leaving. Like, I would have left that roundtable. Like, I was very, very, very upset about that.
Yeah.
But honestly, Cliff's got to go. Like last year, I was one of those people that said like, nah, we should keep him. Like I was actually one of those people that was calming you down. Like, no, we should keep him. Like
I remember
he
that.
brought us up. We're this close to making the playoffs. Like it's just a downfall. Last year, he at the end of the year, like prior to the first year, he got us in the right direction. Like he was winning out, but for some reason now he can't even finish. So we need him to be like how he was in the first season. That's actually know how to finish out.
Yeah.
So if he gets us to be right there where he needs to be, then okay. But I don't want to waste another year on a Kyler because what if we get a new coach that knows what he's doing and Kyler's not the answer? Then we're not wasting money on extending him. That we can look into another quarterback and maybe actually make that reality of trading Kyler Murray for Deshaun Watson. Make that a reality later on next year because next year we have a coach that knows what he's doing and knows how to make the calls and actually get like Brian Flores and get a good offensive coordinator. Then we know that Kyler Murray will be the answer or would not be the answer. How we can know that before we can extend him. But if we give Cliff another year and we get rid of him and keep Kyler and extend him with a big money contract, then we're gonna be in the same spot like we were in with David Johnson. And I remember everyone hated that issue because he was doing great first 4 years, and then he just fell off because he was injury prone. So I don't want to be back in that situation that we're having issues with money. And as far as like us keeping players and who should walk, Kirk gone, AJ Green gone, Chandler Jones, I want him gone too, to be honest, because I don't want to pay him that much money because he
It's a
was
lot.
because I don't want him to come back on money that he wants big money because he's getting up there in age and he's not very consistent anymore. The only,
Yeah.
the only good games he has is with the first game he had like 5 sacks against Titans, and then the other games against the Seattle Seahawks. And that's because he always does good against them for some reason.
Yeah.
So I want him gone. We can get someone from the draft, but knowing Keim, we're probably gonna get like a kicker. So
First
I don't
round
even know.
pick.
So
Punter, the best punter on
I don't even know. So at this point, wide receivers, I'm not too worried about getting because there's a lot of good wide receivers coming in free agency. Like Odell, he only got a year contract when he got signed with the Rams, more of like a prove a deal. But I don't think he's leaving. He's gonna stay and resign with them. There's Allen Robinson. He's a good wide receiver to get. But I think he's gonna be asking for a bit much money, and I don't want to spend much on wide receiver.
right.
We can get one on the draft. I really want to address offensive line. I really want to address on the
Yeah.
draft because I was a big DJ Humphrey fan, but at this point he's been running. Who was our center last year that was causing a lot of holding
Uh,
calls because that's because
Mason
he's
Cole.
Mason Cole. He's been running me a lot of him. I was like, yo, we got rid of the holding calls and now you're bringing it back.
You're in the back.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
They
don't, I
need.
don't, I don't want to keep DJ Humphries. I want to get rid of him too. I think we
One
should let
of
him
the
go because I looked into what the first person came on, and I had to look into it. Yeah, he's on a one more year in the contract, I want to get rid of him because his contract is big, so we can get more. Because I believe we're going in with only 23 million into the offseason. So it's not that much as last year. So definitely, I want to
Oh,
definitely make some cuts or rearrange some contracts again. But
Jordan
it's not looking
Phillips
good in
needs
this
to
offseason.
go. Jordan Phillips needs to go.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
definitely agree with you with that. I was happy about his sign, but I'm
You know one
disappointed
thing
about him.
that a lot of people aren't talking about that actually frustrated me from the Cardinals? Lamont Gilliard. Why did we just release Lamont Gilliard? Do you remember he was a center and then he played guard? He was pretty decent. Now he wasn't a complete starter, superstar, but he was somebody that we could have been using when we had this freaking carousel of a wider, offensive line. Why did we get rid of? And we just dropped them. And who picked them up? I think it was the Bengals picked them up, and
The
it
Bengals,
was
he needed good. He needed good. He had a solid season. Like he didn't
solid.
do amazing. Like he's gonna be like making the Pro Bowl, but he was like decent enough to show that he can actually hang on
Yeah,
and protect the quarterback. He was
yeah.
consistent. That's what we needed. We needed a consistent one. For some reason, they wanted to keep Max Garcia, which I knew he's gonna be ass, and I don't know why we didn't keep him. I don't know why we keep them.
The
I wanted
same
him
reason
gone and kept Gillard.
the same reason why we kept Roselle Douglas on the practice squad, and he's having the best freaking career of his life with Green Bay Packers. He was on our practice squad, and
Yeah,
they
I
ended
know.
up
I was mad about that too.
look at that. Oh my God, we're so great, aren't we? All right, appreciate you, man. Later, dude. Peace out. All right, let me get to the super chat here real quick. My guy, Mark Jackson in the house with a $10 donation. Appreciate that. Heck yeah, man. Appreciate it. He says, honestly, I'm never a Cliff fan. But now I think it would hurt the team more if we fired him. Look at the Steelers. They kept their coaches. I would fire Keim and keep Cliff on a short leash. My main concern with the whole Cliff Kingsbury thing, and I get it, man. I'm right there with you when it comes down to we might have to because our hands are tied. He's got one more year. Why not give him the opportunity as like we might have to fire him mid-season if things aren't working the way we're doing. We're playing the Chiefs. We're playing Justin Herbert next year. We're playing if the Broncos get a quarterback, maybe Deshaun Watson. There's rumors, and we're playing Derek Carr. And a lot of people don't like him very much, but yeah, I mean he's a decent quarterback. We're playing the AFC West. We're playing the NFC West, bro. It's gonna be difficult. People want Kyler Murray versus Mahomes. We're gonna know why Mahomes got paid $500 million, and we're still struggling with is Kyler gonna get paid? Like this is gonna be crazy. Like let's keep the phone lines going here. Let's get my guy Jordan P. Jordan P, you're live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. Man, what's up? How you feeling?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So I want to address some stuff that I just been hearing that makes absolutely no sense. First of all, the whole Kyler Murray, is he the guy? Let's trade him. Like, what is? Are you guys Cardinals fans? I want to know because have you seen our history of quarterbacks? Like, I don't think you guys have seen our history of quarterbacks. And they're saying, oh, he had a bad game. Of course, he had a bad game. Everybody has a bad game. But did you see our offensive line that wasn't blocking the whole game? What would you like him to do? Patrick Mahomes, everybody thinks he's a god. He didn't do nothing in the Super Bowl because his O-line couldn't block. You want to get rid? Did the Chiefs fans say, let's get rid of Patrick Mahomes because he looked like a bum in the Super Bowl? Absolutely not, because the O-line looked terrible. So what do you think he's going to do? Kyler Murray was he was top 10 in quarterback rating this year, top 10 in passer rating this year. He was tied with Tom Brady for over 20-yard completions, and Tom Brady had 250 more passes. Like so the things that people are saying, I just don't understand that.
Question. You said was right at one point. He was tied with Tom. Like he was tied with Tom, or even throughout the rest of
throughout the season, he's tied
okay.
with Tom Brady for the most 20-yard completions, and Tom Brady has almost 250 more pass attempts, right? So, and the whole Cliff Kingsbury versus Kyler thing, and like who's the problem? I just want to lay this out there. Who was Kyler before Cliff? Undefeated in high school, Heisman Trophy winner. Who was Cliff before Kyler? Look, I got his records here, right?
Read them.
Let me read them out to you.
Read them.
Cliff Kingsbury, end of the season as a head coach, Texas Tech 2013, lost 5 of 6. 2014, lost the last 4 of 6. 2015, lost the last 4 of 6. 2016, lost the last 6 of 8. 2017, lost the last 6 of 8. 2018, lost the last 5 of 5. We hired him. We lost the last 7 of 9. 2020, we lost the last 5 of 7. 2021, we lost the last 6 of 7. Now put the two together. Who's the problem?
Question. You said was right at one point. He was tied with Tom, or even throughout the rest of
Who's the problem?
the Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that I'm seeing is, well, Cliff got us to 3 to 5 to 11, however many wins, right? 5 to 8 to 11, right? And what people are missing is they're mixing causation with correlation. And what I mean by that is, let me explain. He's not the cause of us going up in wins.
I
He's
agree.
correlated with it because he's the coach, but the
Yeah.
talent is the reason why. Keim upgraded the roster exponentially every year that Cliff has been a head coach. So to say that Cliff is the reason why, what has Cliff improved on? I want one person to come on here and tell me one thing that Cliff from year 1 to year now, what he improved on. Does he still call stupid screens and stupid screens and stupid play calls? Yes, he does. Does he hold anyone accountable? Absolutely not. Does he say the same stuff in the press conference over and over? Absolutely. So what has he done better?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see where people are saying Cliff is the answer and Kyler's not the answer. I just don't understand that.
Right.
And as a big supporter of Kyler myself, I agree with what one of the other guys said in a way. Like when he said Kyler's being babied, I don't know if baby is the right word, but he's on the right track. With Kyler, he's been born and bred to be great, and he's been great. So he expects everybody else to be great, and so everybody else is not being great. He just thinks that's his standard. And at the end of the day, I think what needs to happen is he needs to see inside himself that my talent has gotten me this far. Like you could tell he's a student of the game in terms of like X's and O's and that, but you could tell like he relied on his talent in Oklahoma in high school. So far in the NFL, he's relied on his talent, but now it needs to go to the intangibles. Like Russell Wilson was saying, walk around the sideline, telling the guys, come on, let's go. Or just your demeanor, things like that. He needs to work on. Yes,
he does.
Because he needs to work on those things doesn't mean you get rid of a guy who's a top 5 talented quarterback. So
I 100% agree. 100% agree. One of the thing is too, like right now we're kind of talking right now, the extension that he's going to get, he's probably not going to get it till next year now. That's the crazy part now, right? I mean, but it's kind of smart. I know one of the things is obviously Kyler Murray is the real deal to a lot of us, but we can't also forget, injuries, man. Injuries are a big thing. Can he stay healthy for the entirety of the season? And we just kind of have to wait and see at this point. He wants Patrick Mahomes, Allen, what's the name? Josh Allen type of money, and we'll see what happens this year.
At the end of the day, if he doesn't get it this year, then I understand. He hasn't, been this all-world beater, but he's been great. So, I mean, you give him another year with a great O-line. You have to give him an O-line.
Oh, yeah.
The quarterback 100%. Needs an O-line. Did you see what the Chiefs did? 1 year, they completely tore the whole O-line up and got a new O-line. And the O-line is great this year from last year, which was terrible. We can do it. Keim just needs to do it.
But we can, but we can't.
But we won't because,
All right, brother. Appreciate you as always, man. Have a great rest of your day. Let me answer my question here for my guy, Lord. Is Kyler Murray too short? No, I mean, I want to kind of get away from all that just because, like, I know Russell Wilson's fairly, like, the same size. I think Russell might have him on, maybe an inch or some centimeters up, but anything can happen. We've seen Kyler Murray at his best, and he's very, very explosive. He makes Patrick Mahomes-esque type. And I'm not calling him Patrick Mahomes. I'm not calling him Patrick Mahomes. Don't be trying to clip me and say this guy's calling him Patrick. No, I'm not calling him that. I'm saying he has made moves like that where it's like, whoa, do you see that? That's actually pretty awesome. Look at that. He can do it. He can do it. I know he can. We just got to get everything behind him right. Let me get a super chat here. BBH saying Kyler is only an inch shorter than Russell. Yep, definitely. All right, let's do this. Appreciate everybody for coming through. I'm going to have one more. So take us home. One more. I'm going to have at Domo BBE. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. And then the biggest reason why is because I love that chain. All right, let's bring you live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. Hey, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Man, look, I just spent $700 for tickets for me and my kids to be at that game yet again. The stadium went crazy for the Rams because it was only like 5 of us Cardinal fans there. But I'm just dead ass. I live in Los Angeles. Like I said, Keebler Elves. So we're the Keebler Elves of the league going back to the draft day.
Yeah.
But you can't fire Cliff. He takes all the blame, though. He don't get that extension, that old putting out there that you're about to go to Ohio State and all these other different places. You ain't getting that money. You can't fire him because the rebuild is going to be a significant hit. It's nobody in there that could rebuild this team how it is. Now, we need to go get who was the coach that called plays when he got COVID? What was it? The wide receiver.
Ooh, yes, I know who you're talking about. He's like an assistant, some guy that we don't.
He needs to come out there and call plays, or Kugler need to come down there and call the run, because it don't make no damn sense when you look at the running game for the past 6 months that you're not running the ball.
Right.
And then like screen passes. First of all, Kellen Moore is 2 foot nothing. He's 2 foot nothing. Like he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but a screen. You doing screens, you ain't get a first down for the whole first half.
Yeah.
This stuff don't make sense. Now, Kyler, he got to stop saying that he want to be Tom Brady. Kyler need to go be Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson. Something's wrong with Kyler why he wouldn't run the ball on the game. In the middle of the TV, because I rewatched it, the TV didn't show you the middle of the field half the time. It was open. Half the time, that 10-yard sprint, that would have walked them safeties up, but Kyler wouldn't take it. I don't know why, but this draft coming up, I don't want no lineman out the draft. I want Chandler Jones back. I don't want no lineman out the draft. I want AJ Green back because I feel like he didn't get a fair shot.
Okay.
Something about Kyler throwing the ball to the right, he can't do it. It just seems weird to him. He only can really throw the ball to the left. But Connor, I know we got 20-something million, but this thing's going up, so we're gonna have probably like 30, 40. And then everybody playing on the 5th-year deal in a franchise tag. It is what it is. But we can't afford to lose J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Marcus Golden right now. You could get rid of Luke Kennard. Not Luke Kennard. What's his name?
Devon Kennard.
Yeah, him. That's Luke Kennard.
It doesn't matter.
You can get rid of him. You know, you can't get Zaven Collins. We could trade him for a 2nd round right now.
Maybe.
Because I don't know why Andy Isabella's still on the roster.
No, I know, brother. I'm right there with you. I don't know why he made the 53-man roster. I really don't.
He played 5 games in 4 years. He played 5 plays in 4 years. One was a touchdown, but we go look, and then the Buddha hit that. That was ugly. And I'm gonna tell you, the Cardinal fans that was there, that was close down to that section, it was the big brawl that they didn't show on TV because it was disrespectful. It was a big fight that went on in SoFi. But besides that, the team the sideline looked deflated. Vance Joseph, we probably gonna lose him.
I think so too.
But you can't get rid of Cliff. You can't. I mean, the progress that you got, it's like if you give it up now, you're starting all over. It's a reason why Kyler Murray didn't sign with him in college. It's a reason.
Yeah. And
nobody want to pay attention to that reason. He had 2 opportunities to go there, and he didn't go to Cliff. It's the reason why Patrick Mahomes fell so far back, which I hate Andy Lee because he was Andy Reid because he was supposed to be our quarterback. But
he was. Oh,
just imagine we would have still had Bruce Arians and him, or whoever it was, somebody him. But he was supposed to be our quarterback. We jumped in front of us. And Kimes, he got to go.
I agree.
They need to go get Louis Riddick. Hire Louis Riddick off the TV, and he wouldn't have made that decision of passing up DJ Metcalf and getting what's his name?
DK Metcalf. Yeah, Andy Isabella over DK. Yeah.
But I need AJ Green back.
All right.
AJ Green he's the only big receiver. Him and Weezy. That's the only big receivers we got. Everybody else under 6 foot.
I agree, man. I agree. All right, man. Appreciate you as always, man. I hope I can get you back on the live again. Thanks a lot.
Look, I'm play by play with you next year. Don't even worry about it because I'm about to be back on. Like I'm gonna cuss on mine though.
All right. Sounds good, man. Have a great rest of your day, dude. Later, man. All right, love it, dude. That's actually the first person that I've heard AJ Green back. All right, hey, I respect it. Let me get to this last super chat here of the night. Appreciate you. A $20 donation from my guy Me Wilson. Thank you so very much. Let me give a big shout out to everybody that's still here and everybody that that super chat so far. Thank you so very much. Let me give you the Betty White tab. Thank you.
Got him.
Appreciate. Thank you. Obviously, our RIP Betty White for sure. And then we got the $20 donation here. We don't need Watson. I don't want women abuser on my team. Kyler's my guy. Also, imagine if Khalil Mack was a free agent this year. We could have get him Jim Harbaugh. This is what I wanted. Emmanuel Sanders now that he is with the Bills. Yeah, man, it's It's the situation of like the shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. It's just draft didn't work. Free agency didn't work. It's just Keim needs to go. That's it, man. Keim needs to freaking go. And he's not going to go because Michael Bidwell, for some reason, is his best friend in the world. And it's frustrating. If you were going to tell me right now, Mike, who do you want to go? Cliff Kingsbury or Steve Keim? I would tell you Steve Keim over Cliff because I've been talking about Steve Keim going for the last 2 or 3 years since I started my channel. And obviously, the reason why Cliff's getting this big heat is because of this big downfall. But honestly, if we get rid of Steve Keim, I wouldn't even talk about Cliff anymore because I felt like justice was served. If that makes sense, I need something to happen. And if we bring the same coaching staff, it would be crazy to me. It would be absolutely crazy to me. But we're Cardinal fans, so we're kind of used to it at this point here, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to be ending the stream here. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you, everybody, for coming through to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody, all the people that came in, all the super chatters, all the people that, are channel members of this AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Thank you. It means the absolute world that you're hanging out with me on a Wednesday. Actually, before I leave, I wanted to tell you guys the results of the poll question that I ended up posting here a little earlier. 332 votes, and 59% of you said James Conner needs to come back if you had to choose one out of those 4. Appreciate everybody for coming through as always, and like always, go Cards.